What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing an FMU on the Turbo Civic. If you're not familiar with an FMU, I suggest you stick around and check this out because this is pretty cool. This takes me back to the OG days, back to the early 2000s. So, an FMU. What is an FMU? So what an FMU does is it stops the flow right here from the return line. So it stops the flow from the fuel returning, therefore forcing it into the system and having you burn it. So usually the FMUs were used for stock setups. By stock, I mean stock injectors, stock ECU, which is your turbo system. This one right here, we are actually going to be running bigger injectors because that's going to help me. And what we're going to do is we're going to install it. I already got a spot back here. I removed this hose that was in the way. And we're going to be installing it somewhere down here like this. Right there. And we're going to be plugging this vacuum hose to a port that's right under here. And then we're going to be connecting our fuel return to here. We're going to splice into it, basically. That's what we're going to do. So it's going to go from here, from where it's at right now. It's going to run over to this one right here, this one, and then it's going to come out the bottom back to the original spot. And what the FMU is going to do is every time it feels a vacuum source up here, it's going to close a little cylinder that's right in here, therefore closing the flow and allowing that fuel to be stuck in there and burn off. So this only works during boost. On regular driving, when you're just cruising up and down the road, it's just gonna let the fuel return back to its original spot. So it's gonna go from here to here, out to here, and back into the system. But during boost, this little cylinder is going to go ahead and shut, and all that fuel is going to be trapped in there and be forced to be burned. This is a 12-to-1. They have these in different kinds, different sizes. That's what I mean. So I believe they have an 8-to-1. They have a 3-to-1. They might have a 10-to-1. I'm not really sure, but I know that there's a bunch of them. This one is a 12-to-1. What that means is that for every 1 pound of boost, you're going to get 12 pounds of fuel extra. So therefore, you'll never go lean. You'll be running pretty rich, especially when you're way up there in the boost. So also remember that your stock injectors can only produce so much fuel, and the fuel pump also. Therefore, it would be a good idea to upgrade the fuel pump, upgrade the injectors. Therefore, when this starts to increase, it really starts burning really good, which is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be upgrading all of that. And yeah, let me go ahead and draw right here a little map so you guys can actually see how this works. So imagine that this is your fuel, and this bottom line is your boost. So you got 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 pounds. And this is your fuel. Let's start at 5, 10, 20, 30, all the way up to, let's say, 100 pounds of fuel. So your stock ECU and your stock injectors are going to probably burn like this. Once you start giving it gas and you start getting into boost, it's going to burn something like this. And then it's going to start to drop. But with the FMU, like I said, what it's going to do is for every 1 pound, it's going to start like this. And for every 1 pound, it's going to bump it up. Then it's going to hit another pound and bump it up. Another pound and bump it up. So now you're getting all this extra fuel pressure, therefore allowing you to go into boost at higher boost and saving your engine from blowing up. So now that you guys know what the plan is, we are going to be running this guy with my stock ECU, my stock injectors, and stock fuel pump for the time being right now. I did pick up some cold plugs, but that will be on a different video. And let's go ahead and start installing this. Alright, so for the spot that I have down here, we're going to have to drill a new hole for the bracket because this bracket does not reach. So I'm going to have to drill a hole right here so this bolt can go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to eyeball this and probably drill a little hole right here, right there, like that. And get this hole drilled really quick. We're good. So I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect the fuel line for the return. There is going to be fuel in there, so make sure you guys put something or try to catch this fuel somehow so it doesn't go all over the place. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this rag under it. Just to keep the fuel from going all crazy, because remember, this is under pressure. There are different ways to relieve the pressure, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect the line. Close your eyes and hope for the best. I guess there was nothing. There's nothing coming out. Or there is a little bit in there. Alright, so now I'm going to pull the line. What we're going to do is we're going to chop this line somewhere right here, because we are going to be plugging that line this end somewhere right here, and then the rest of it is going to have to go back onto that port. So there's a slight change of plan. I don't have a long enough hose for the fuel return. So what I ended up doing is putting the FMU somewhere right here. So this is my return that goes back down. And this one's the other return. That's going to go right back to here. To the end of the regulator right here. So I'm going to go ahead and button that up. So this is what the FMU looks like right now. Everything's plugged in. You guys can see the line. Runs right under there. And then the other line continues to run down. So what I am going to do is... Oh, before I forget, I got to plug this one back in too. I'm going to go ahead and start up the car. And... see if there's any fuel leaks. There's no leaks at all coming from the FMU. I did go ahead and throw a little zip tie on here so it doesn't move around, but I am gonna have to get a longer fuel hose so I could go ahead and mount that FMU on the firewall. Besides that, everything's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and call this a video here, and I will catch you guys on my next video. Peace out, stay safe, catch you guys later.